been so long since I've done this.
Yes.
So good to be in the company of beautiful people tonight.
Likewise.
All right, so I'm going to read these poems that I wrote during the pandemic. Things have happened to me, so here we go. I told myself I was tired of being sad, tired of feeling like I struggle alone, so here's what I told the devil. I told him just because I feel alone doesn't mean God's promises are being postponed. I told him just because you think you got me down doesn't mean I can't take the next elevator up. My feelings are going one way, but my faith is moving forward, and I'm tired of believing the lies that I'll never conceive. I refuse to believe in the lies that you have fed me, so I told the devil I'm not alone, and even when I feel like my body will never be a home for reproductions, the signs are all around me. Points to a home in the heart of Jesus, so I walk with my head high, choosing not to believe you, knowing I ain't the only one that dreams at night of carrying the sun. While so many have carried and lost, and it wasn't their fault that they loved and lost, and the enemy, you make me feel like they fumbled the ball when sometimes in life we don't always get it right, but God finds a way to show us he loves us even in the midst of something so scary. Sis, I'm sorry that I'm complaining because my burden didn't cause me to miscarry. I pray that I never got to live through this, but if God sees fit, let the lesson be learned through me. I told the enemy I'm tired of taking pregnancy tests just so you could disappoint me. But when God saw my future, he saw the beginning and the end, knowing summer ain't no fun in Houston heat to be carrying sons because this sun shows no mercy in Texas. As this heat breaks records, he saw that finances back way when we got married wasn't all it was cracked up to being. Having a wedding of my dreams and destiny of building foundation and ministry was so much bigger than me, so he allowed Corona to unfortunately be the vessel of his love to bless us. So now we blessed up and all dressed up and ready to conceive. Ready to believe that when my husband is holding me, I'm crying sometimes. I think he's lying when he says, baby, it'll be this month. Do you know what he asked me last month when I got frustrated that my body was no longer sacred because I felt like God had betrayed me? He says, do you believe that God didn't allow you to ovulate? That I had to contemplate. He said, baby, can't you make yourself ovulate? Can I make myself ovulate? And out of sarcasm, I thought the phrase question, so I wanted to become frustrated and push him away, but decided to stay because the answer was only that question away from a reality, meaning I couldn't make my own body do something that God created. Therefore, in translation, I was mistaken to even question God about his creation. So I hung my head in shame. I told the enemy, you can't stand in the way of my joy anymore. Sometimes I feel like no one can relate, but I choose to believe that I will conceive sons and daughters, named after their mother and their father, and never understood why so many have come to share their good news with me, because I felt like I could never be happy for something I've desired so deeply, because you are a reflection of me and you aren't alone. To the devil, my future isn't postponed. Every sign and wonder is because I am alive and well, and I give you all the credit because most of the time I do it to myself. But tonight I write through the pain. Tonight I write for all those who carried and lost. Tonight I write because it's better to take a maternity shoot and miscarry than to never have carried at all. Knowing over the rainbow we say hello to God and he smiles back saying, I promise, I got you. All right, so that was a heavy one. I think all my pieces are kind of heavy. Sorry, they're just experience-based. All right, this is called Pieces of a Woman, Broken Glass of Matrimony. All right. I looked down to find that in which I thought I'd lost. It's no coincidence I carried the cost of this matrimony. Don't want this to become a regretful ceremony, yet it's still this glass that's empty in my sink, broken, given as a gift. A promise, a vow, a covenant not to be broken, not to be betrayed or leveraged against. I wouldn't wager on forever because the only time eternity was ever talked about was in the Bible. He was in heaven. And this is a sense of false heaven. A sense that didn't make sense, but little puzzle pieces we strive to make every one of them fit. Fought to fix it, fought to live it, fought to fight freedom and escape of our minds, thinking that if we just turned away from our sin, then we could hear from God and he would heal our land, the land before time, the land that says forever is a commandment, but my evolution sees different. And as I look at our ending of our nuptials as an imminent doom, where I see this gift, a woman call her on a glass and he as the groom on another. And before I could look closely at the shattered glass as an analogy for our matrimony, I laughed because that's the only thing that keeps me from crying. I lost my mind before I found it. I lost track of time before I knew what time was. I was tired of getting hurt, tired of losing to this earth, so I gathered what I could and made the best of my own mess. Took advantage of those closest to me just to grab a piece of this thing called land before time, and what I find was always mine. Not broken, but mended. And all these pieces remind me that sometimes you have to break in order to make sense of it all, make friends and lose them again. And like seasons, we give each other reason why this won't work instead of speaking the truth. Because that always hurts. We pretend. I am tired of pretending, not living in my own truth, of not being who I am. I believe that in order to fail, you have to first try. And when you realize that it's really not failing, it's learning. And that's not a waste of anyone's time. I took currency from my feelings. Took currency from my longevity, took currency just to make me happy, and I am knocking what makes you happy, but I've tried and learned, and here I am with a broken glass of matrimony. A gift given by a family friend, and instead of looking at these pieces like what didn't work, I choose to look at them like I ended it to prevent further hurt. And found my value in my work. I'll take the pieces and create a work of art. Departing from the me I thought I was created to be, yet in understanding that everyone changes. And energy is never created nor destroyed. And I am a ball of energy. Inertia in the struggle, fighting no more, but free to be as I am. Thank you.